This would be a great time for my internet to drop. Ooh.
Oh, it would be. It would be great. Like,
And we're live. Yay, great start. Okay, well, hello. Welcome to Texas Steampunk Connection again, where we will attempt to talk steampunk. I am Flavio, a.k.a. Damn it, Flavio, sometimes Major Damn it, Flavio. And with me, as always, yourself, boys.
I'm Fax, a staple here, I think. And we have our newest member who has made his face known this last season. Now we've gone visual.
Yeah, it's the third episode. It's now official. I am Jack.
Yep.
And we are here to Jack who? I'm Jack B. Flippin' or Jack Fireball Von Wolf, depending on who you talk to.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yes. Sorry, the other internet thing kicks in. My other personality is like, no, you're the internet. You gotta speak like this. Gotta be a 12-year-old.
Multiple personality disorder, yeah, or multiple character disorder, as I call it.
That one's hard. That one's rough. All right. Well,
as usual, every broadcast, we like to we really sit down and we have a little drink together. What are you drinking, Jack?
I have me some of this Narwhal Imperial Stout. I think I drank this the first episode, maybe. No, that was something different. But yeah, this. Oh,
you were drinking Jack and Coke or something. Narwhal Imperial. I like the stouts.
Here in Nevada's good.
And it's very much an internet posting, and people have read it would love it because it has a narwhal on it.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look. Where'd you get that? Where'd you find that?
I found this at Specs, actually. Specs over here.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it.
It wasn't in like the rack of refrigerators. It was like off to the side with like the meads and such. So it's in the area where it's like, yeah, they hid it. They hide it. I found it. I stole it with money.
Nice. What are you drinking, Fax?
I am drinking Karbach, one of the many local breweries here in Austin. They have a Southern Wheat. Okay. I assume this is a Southern seasonal. I've never seen it before, and I got it with their sort of assortment case. But I think I've seen these on the rack next to it, just on their own. It's really nice. It's your typical wheat beer, but it's got a very light citrus note to it.
It's like a Hefeweizen. Is it like a Hefeweizen?
It's a stronger flavor than a Hefeweizen. It's a wheat beer. A little bit malty.
It looks not clear.
It is not entirely clear.
That's actually good. I like that.
Okay. Looks good, actually. Sounds good.
Well, mine hits you like a ton of bricks.
It's Imperial, so yeah.
It tastes like someone set a whiskey barrel down your throat.
Speaking of which, I am drinking French Quarter Temperance Imperial Milk Stout.
Oh,
is that backwards?
Oh, a couple of luscious.
It's from the Seduction series. It says from Lakewood Brewery. I have no idea what Lakewood Brewing is.
Lakewood.
It does kick you. I picked it up at my HEB right over on the corner here.
Oh, I'll have to go look at that.
It's nice and dark. It's nice and dark the way I like it. And it's a good one. I can taste it. I can definitely taste the Imperial part of it. But there's
it could be a bad Imperial stout.
It's not. It's good. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. Ooh, okay. I think that's enough of our drunk talk.
Okay. That'll come along later in the day as well, I'm sure.
That's right. So after the last broadcast, I gave everybody a homework, including myself, and the assignment was to find at least one new steampunk thing to introduce to the conversation. And we all did. We all did our homework. That's awesome. So who wants to go first? I guess I'll go first. I'll go first. What the hell? Being
before you go,
I'm the host. We're all co-hosts.
Before you go, I want to welcome Rita Menzie Allen
Oh,
to the live stream.
hey,
She
yes.
says Lakewood.
Hello,
Lakewood
yes.
Breweries of Dallas. So
Yes, I
thanks
believe
for
she
your-
left us a message on our last podcast. She typed a message to us and saying she enjoyed the show. And I said, thank you.
Wow, well, thanks for coming back.
Yes. Hopefully we won't run you off again.
Okay.
Again?
Okay, Pop, you can go now. I like to do the shout out.
So,
shout outs are good.
oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, keep an eye out. I missed that completely that someone joined us. But apparently we have 3 people watching us. I can't tell who though. Say hi to us so we know who you are.
Yes, post in the comments. But
where was I? Oh, I'm getting an echo. Okay, sorry.
I like to do the shout out.
Yep, I'm definitely getting an echo. So anyway, our assignments. I did an assignment. I found an anime, a steampunk anime on Netflix, and it's called Livius. Levius. Livius. That is the name. That is the name. That is. What is that? I'm getting feedback. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. That is the name of the main character, Livius, and the story. It's only 10 episodes. Is it only 10 episodes? Yes, no, it's 12 episodes. Sorry, my bad. It's 12 episodes. And they're only like 30 minutes long, 45 minutes long. They're not an entire hour long. And it is centered around steampunk boxing. So if you like anime, if you like boxing, if you like steampunk, it's got it all. Pugilist, yes. There's going to be some spoilers. It starts off as a young boy who gets in. There's a war going on. He gets injured. He loses an arm, and then he goes to his uncle's, and then he discovers boxing. And the steampunk boxing part is they all get basically turned into cyborgs. He has an artificial arm that is steam powered, but it's magic steam. They have some kind of first rule of steampunk. There's some kind of they have some kind of like magic water or steam, some kind of special water that powers it up or used for the steam for the pressure.
Heavy,
but he only has one arm. Heavy water, something like that. They described it something like that. But and it was, first of all, the anime was beautiful. It was well drawn. The animation was great. It was clean. The boxing matches, you can actually tell, you can see what's happening during the fight. It wasn't like a blur or anything. It was well done. And it was I thought it was really good. There were several boxing matches. The boys, he has a goal to get to at the end of he has to fight a certain amount of people and win and blah blah blah. And of course, the last fight is everything, all or nothing kind of thing. All the other boxers have both arms replaced by cybernetic parts, and then they keep telling them you need to replace your new arm. You need to replace your real arm. They doesn't want to replace.
We're going to get you where this can have both arms.
That would be cool.
That makes you a specialist in your thumb, doesn't it?
I like that it was well regulated though, because like they have to pass a pressure test in their arms. Like how much pressure their arm. It was regulated how much pressure is supposed to. They have to hold. They have to pass it 3 times throughout the day before the fight, in order to be able to fight the match. Like I said, it was really well done. 12 episodes. Most of the episodes was boxing, except for like every once in a while they'll throw in like a actual storyline, which is good too. And of course there's a villain in the piece and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed it. It was really good fighting. And like I said, if you like watching Rocky box in the movies or Creed, as boxing movies like that, it was very similar to watching those kind of fights.
Join us for Steampunk boxing, Rocky style.
Hey, Nicole joined us. Hey guys. Hey Nicole. Are you don't have a warrant out for any of us, do you?
I mean, she has a permanent wanted poster of me, so.
Feel wanted.
What's the reward for him? I don't know where he is.
I think it was 5,000 coal credits or 50,000 coal credits, something ridiculous.
The bottom fell out of the coal market. Nobody cares.
Yeah. The coal market's completely gone now. We're in Ethereum, Bitcoin now.
Oh no, I missed that.
To our listeners, if you're not familiar with anime deeply or manga coming out of Japan, there's a whole like portion of especially manga for sports. They have like baseball comics where they or boxing or a lot of stuff like exactly what you're describing here. The focus is on playing the sport only in anime, which I think is really interesting.
It's like there's some animes that I've watched that you can tell, oh, that's very anime. They had the same tropes, like the big eyes or the surprise looks or whatever. This didn't have any of that really, except maybe one time I think I saw that. But it didn't have a whole lot of the actual anime tropes that I'm used to seeing in anime. So I thought it was different enough, and I liked it.
Is there a small female character with a high voice who's kind of ditzy and follows the main character around?
She wasn't really ditzy, but
really annoying.
Yeah, she wasn't ditzy. She was a boxer as well, and she was gonna. It's like if anyone's gonna beat him, it's gonna be me. So I'm gonna help train you to beat the other people, and then you'll be ready to fight me. Kind of, she had the overconfidence edge or disad, like
all right
kind of thing. But it was cute, and she wasn't really all that annoying. Yeah, I highly recommend it.
And what was the name of it again?
Livius, Levius.
Livius.
And that's the name of the main character.
Really, that's the name of the main character.
And it's on Netflix.
I don't know if I can share it. On Netflix. Maybe I can. I'm going to try the share screen thing. So let's see what happens. How does that work?
Brace for impact.
Yeah.
When I tried to do it last time, I had to hit the share button and then jump over to the screen I wanted to show.
Good, because I'm going to have to use that button in a
moment. Did it go up there?
It's working.
There. Can you see it?
Okay, now go to the screen you want.
Yeah, Livius. Netflix. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Like I said, I thought the art was really awesome. The actual artwork was really well done. It's pretty.
Only 500 call credit. That's right. I remember picking on him for being a cheapskate about putting the reward so low.
500 cold credits. But you got to work on that then if you want to up that bounty.
No, I think at this point I've broken the bank as many times as he's picked me up. Now he's
that was Livius.
Contracting out for with Nicole. But yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna get back.
So it's just every just a once a year thing. Just bring you in once a year for whatever.
Just keep tacking on a 0 at the end of it with like some sort of like steampunk one note these things, sticky notes.
I can tell you that this podcast needs some backing. So if I turn them in November, can I get that add a 0 on there and just
we have to be doing a podcast when it happens. That's the key.
Yeah. Okay, we can arrange that.
Sure, we can either live or not live, depending.
So I don't know who's listening, who's ever been to Steampunk November up in my mind always goes blank on where it is. It's not Waxahachie. It's
Texas.
Where?
Venus. It's like right next to Venus if it's not in Venus.
The name of the dam in Austin is the same name as the town.
Arlington. Mansfield. Yes, Mansfield. Perfect. Thank you, Nicole. Yes. There's a once a year steampunk gathering called Steampunk November, but right now it's kind of in the air when that's happening this year. They don't know. Maybe not. They're waiting to see.
Like Nicole to put people you don't like or do like in a cage for so many minutes. It's fantastic.
Right. I think it's.
So they have to fight
she charges per minute or something like that.
Stars. Highly recommended.
If we get a bigger cage, they can do though.
Is it like 2 men enter, 1 man leaves? I hear that's popular.
Oh.
Well, Rita's heard about it. Rita's been there in 2019, so that's just last year. And last year is the 1 year I missed, actually, too. So, sorry about that.
Oh.
So that was that's what I found for my new steampunk offering. Livius. If you like boxing, if you like anime, this is a good one.
Sweet. Well, who wants to go next? Do you want to go next, Dax, or shall I?
I can go next. Sure.
Okay.
We're already on Netflix. We're talking about anime, and in my panic to find something new and steampunk, that's where I turn to as well. Facebook or Netflix is funny. It just decides to show you new things that are coming out or things that it thinks you'd like, and it's surprisingly good at it. I discovered a show called Drifting Dragons, which does not sound like it should be.
I found that one too.
Huh.
But I was keenly surprised. Let me read the short description. It's time to see what dragon tastes like. The crew of the airship Queen Zaza makes their living hunting dragons. Succeed, and the reward is riches and all the meats they can eat. It still doesn't sound steampunk. But
big meat loggers on there.
But if you just bear with it for 10 minutes into the show, what I found is it's about Victorian whaling ships. I mean, that's the story.
Okay.
Victorian whalers, except they're in airships in the sky, and the whales they call them dragons, but they're just these weird, creepy animals. They're sort of tentacled, alien, giant jawed things.
I'm intrigued and scared.
What the dragon isn't really relevant. They might as well be whales.
It's like Sky Pokemon.
But you get to watch them. In the first episode, you see them hunt and kill, and then butcher the animal and render its bodily organs and fats and sell them to the local town, just like a whaling ship, just like in Moby Dick. Now, in true Victorian whaling ships, they would do all of that butchering right there on the ship.
Yeah.
But being as they're an airship, they take it to the ground and do all the work, most of the work there. But
that makes sense. It's like anchoring.
But for those small changes in details, it's a very Victorian and steampunk show. I was really surprised. It's got a lot of action because they're fighting this tentacled monster thing in their airships, and there's guns and there's swords and harpoons and wild characters who are in it for the glory and eating this whale. And it seems like a fairly normal anime style show, except that sometimes, and we were just talking about how there are certain kinds of anime that are strictly about sports. There are other animes that really highlight and focus on cooking. It's like a cooking show, but anime. And so you'll be going through Drifting Dragons, and you'll be having a normal plot line, and suddenly they're showing you this recipe and how to prepare the dragon, and the different spices that go into it, and the sautéing, and how to cut the meat to get this dish. And they'll take like 5 or 6 minutes just to show you this thing.
That's funny.
That's
hilarious.
How to make dragon soup.
And that was really weird.
I mean, I like the in-depth of the world already. It sounds like that there was a lot of thought behind it, whether their time put on screen or not was worth the effort of doing the whole recipe. But the fact it does exist, and it seems to be kind of like threaded through the show, is kind of fun.
It is fun. It sort of breaks it up and throws you off a little bit. The plot line is not very deep. You can kind of leave it and come back to it later and not feel like, you're really drawn forward. You have to binge it. But there's only 12 episodes, so I binged it.
Oh, good.
And it was for the short 12 episode season. It was a lot of fun. You get to really sort of get into a number of the characters on board the ship. They develop their interactions with the cities that they come across, and apparently they are they're not welcomed in the cities. They'll buy their whale stuff, but then they want them to leave, and they don't want to have anything to do with them.
Wow!
And just sort of, they've got sort of that cultural twist that makes the world seem much more real and well-rounded. I mean, I don't know why.
String, but no one likes he's staying.
They don't explain exactly why city folk don't like the whalers, but that it's just part of the world you're stepping into.
Okay, yeah, I remember I watched 2 episodes of that, the first 2 episodes, and I don't know, I found it what I call very anime because it had especially that one guy who all he cared about was the next meal, and he cooked it. That one guy all he cared about was eating. It just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed, I don't know. I wasn't too sure about the whaling part of it,
It's a very it felt very Japanese in its view of hunting and killing these massive animals. If you aren't aware, Japan still has whaling ships that go out and kill whales. They don't need whales. They don't need to kill them anymore, but it is considered a tradition. And they say that it's for science, and that's how they get away with it under international law. But it's a tradition in Japan that they're still hunting whales, which is kind of, I mean, from a Western perspective, it's kind of unsavory. It's kind of looked down upon.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting that watching the show, it's bringing up those thoughts about how we view whale hunting versus the people who are making this show, and presumably are in Japan mostly.
Yeah.
And
are they trying to romanticize it more, or are they trying to put a narrative in of their own?
I think they're just expressing, to some degree, the narrative of the culture that they're familiar with. But it's not a culture that we're familiar with, and so that makes it sort of interesting, particularly for us.
I'll definitely finish watching the rest of it.
Very well in the Victorian sentiment as well.
Okay.
So that
finish watching the rest of it.
Jeez, you hit us with this big philosophical one all of a sudden, and I'm like, here, I'm going to show you this ditzy little game I found. Actually, no, this one's going to get rough. This is
cool about it.
Here we are. We're going from whaling to something actually fairly scary in a lot of ways. This is but I'll let you finish. I don't know if you're finished or not.
I just want to say that came very unexpected to me. I thought this show was going to be fairly, fluffy and not have a lot of depth. And it sort of doesn't feel like it does. But then you start thinking about it and you're like, this is kind of, there's more here than I first expected. So that's definitely why I can recommend Drifting Dragons on Netflix.
Drifting Dragons.
Yeah,
I think we'll be sure to post the link or mention it on our Facebook page and put maybe a link to the Netflix or whatever. Like I showed Livius, you can show Drifting Dragons. That's awesome. Where was it? Is it on Netflix as well? Is that what you said?
Yeah. That was also on Netflix, yeah.
Okay. Very smoky.
Linevere,
Very smoky.
what does a dragon taste like? I have no idea. I have no idea what a dragon tastes like.
Well, apparently, according to Rita, it's very smoky.
Well,
I get the joke. I get the joke.
I could try to joke, but I can't figure out a good joke about eating dragons. Just the whole thought.
Smoking, because nostrils smoke. Fire.
Yeah, it's smoking. And there's always fire, so Oh, I get that. There's another joke here I can't pull out.
Have a drink. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Loosen up the brain a little bit more.
Okay. What did you bring? What's your find?
Well, I've been watching this game for about I think like 2 years in its development, and it's out now, or you can buy it. And I'm trying to see if it's actually like done or if it's like in beta. And looks like it will be okay. It's available as of now, plus a DLC, so it's open. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Share screen. That one.
Okay, I'll add it to the stream.
So here's it's called Frostpunk, and it's a Frostpunk is a first society survival game. As the ruler of the last city on Earth, it is your duty to manage both its citizens and its infrastructure. What decisions will you make to ensure your society's survival? What will you do when pushed to the breaking point? Who will you become in the process? And so essentially what it is that you're in this crater on top of the Earth, I guess, and you're in like a volcano, and you're basically pumping steam and heat out of the ground. And then you have to build your society up around it. And so you have these elevators on the side, which you can send out like raiding parties or like adventure parties to go see if they can go find other things. But people can die on those. So it's all about a balancing act for building up to something much larger, like the city size. And you get to make some really interesting ethical decisions on some things will pop up. Trying to see if I could find one of them. One of them was, like martial law, or what happens if some of your population breaks the law. How do you deal with it? And so this game gets dark real fast, because do you keep them around, but then all of a sudden they take food, and if they're not contributing, and what if you like cannibalize them at this point, or how would you deal with it? I'm assuming that's going to be a question. Like I still play a game called RimWorld, and it's very much the same exact. That's actually another one I would like to talk about one day, but it's not exactly steampunk per se, but it fits that serenity of I'm on an outworld somewhere that's stuck in like the 1800s with that's the kind of technology we were dropped off with. But this one to me really kind of caught that whole steampunk vibe of kind of what you're willing to do to push forward with technology and survive at the benefit or loss of your population. So a lot of like weighing your choices and let's see here, deciding the fate of troubled citizens and meeting the demands of a newborn faction, but be aware that the sum of your doings can lead to unexpected results. Your people put their faith in you, but their devotion is not limitless. Leadership is a burden.
Of course.
And so there are airships in the game, and you get to explore the Frostland out around. And apparently they have an endless mode now that they've added. But it looked beautiful by the pictures I've seen, and I've been watching its development. I've been waiting for it to come out, and apparently it is now $30 and some change if you wanted to think like some of their digital artwork and all their other stuff that they put out, like their soundtrack apparently is pretty good. But
and this is available where? On Steam?
On Steam, for sure. I'm pretty sure it's
that's a gaming platform, right?
Steam is like computers. It's where you can go buy computer games and download them for your computer. So
yeah, because I was like right now, like my laptop doesn't have like a CD player.
Yeah,
or so you used to buy video games that come in a CD. I can't do that here. So Steam would be the answer to go to there and buy it there.
My new computer. I have a DVD player from I have a DVD-ROM burner from like 3 computers ago. It's never been touched on this one. Like this new iteration, like a couple years old. I installed Windows with a USB drive. I mean, I have everything else I had on portable hard drives. I just plugged in and unloaded everything, and then I downloaded everything else I needed. It's just done. So
nice.
If I wanted to watch a movie, I would have to use that. But most of the time, oh, look, it's on Netflix. I'm just going to be lazy and not grab it off the shelf.
Right.
And so,
yeah, it's like, and $30 seems like a really good price because, I hear new games coming out. They're like $70, $80. Their games are expensive, but $30 sounds really reasonable, I think.
Yeah. Big AAA titles for console games are expensive. And this is made by 11-bit Studios, which is actually fairly small. But I wish I knew a little more information about them themselves. I know like 2 or 3 of their devs because I'm on their Discord channel. I talk to them, asking questions, and actually try to get some more information for this, but they didn't get back to me in time. But it's their first game, so if that tells you, this is basically a studio of people probably sitting in a garage. No, I doubt sitting in a garage. They're probably like 3 people around the world doing it. But that was
your description reminds me of like colonists on Roanoke.
Yeah.
That they just come over, dropped in the on the East Coast. There's nothing but wilderness around them, and winter is coming.
Winter is coming. We obviously know nothing.
I believe that colony was everyone died and disappeared. If I'm not mistaken, but
I think I heard that. I heard Roanoke. Yeah, Roanoke Island. Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
But yeah. Colonials coming over to the New World, knowing nothing, and if you want to eat, you will have to work. Was a rule for some groups that wanted to survive. It sounds a lot like that,
and it feels like that too, from what I've gathered from gameplay videos. And I just love the fact that you have to sit there and make these hard decisions.
So but so you start off with pretty much nothing but the volcano vent.
Yeah, I think so. And like 5 or 6 dudes.
You don't automatically start off with airships or whatever. You just you have to
tech up into that too. So you have to balance research with your gathering and everything else going on. And there's like random events that can happen. And so you also have to
essentially a resource game kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a balancing resource game. But I really liked its premise because I haven't seen many like that when it comes to that style. Especially like, let's just take it's the last planet on it's the last city on the planet. We're going to build ourselves into a volcano because everything's just frozen over. We've gone through another snowball Earth event and survive, and then have to deal with human problems, kind of like how the new version of Battlestar Galactica had to go through. Like, oh, we're having a war, we're all dying, we're running away from the robots. Oh, but we have to deal with all these human issues now because we're overworking the people who are doing the mining for the jump drives, and they're like, we've had 14-hour days for 3 months. We're done. We're on strike now. And so you have to like, I'm assuming that game feels a lot that way. You can't push it too far in any direction.
That sounds challenging. That definitely sounds interesting. Uh-oh. Lavio's gone.
We've lost her. Are we gonna?
So you said you're on the Discord group with them.
Yeah.
And you have been talking with them. So, and the game isn't out. So
it's out now. You can now download it. It's out as of this month, apparently, or as of summer.
Okay, so you do have some experience playing the game?
No. I don't own it yet.
So you've just been gathering all this by talking to the developers.
Yeah, and I've been reading their notes for months.
They're building this.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I think that's really interesting.
I like a lot of the new ways that games are coming along. There's kind of a weird, I guess it's good and bad, because a developer has an idea. All right, I want my game to act this way. This is what I want it to do. And then he starts saying, oh, here's my development blogs. I'm going to talk to my people and see what players want. And then sometimes players are like, well, no, that's stupid. You need to do it this way, this way, this way. And so it will sometimes change the game depending on how if the developer really listens to their people, and sometimes the people don't know what they're talking about. It's a terrible idea.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was like, make it all 9,000 power, but it's if you get a good community. Oh, hi, you're back.
Hey, I'm surprised that you guys are still on because I thought I was the host and you guys stayed on. That's awesome.
So apparently SteamYard or StreamYard over here somewhere everywhere is planned for that. So
yeah, that's awesome because I just lost internet on this side because it's completely dropped everything.
Well, you're a lot clearer all of a sudden too, so maybe it was a better thing.
I guess so. But that's awesome that you guys managed to stay on. I like that. So go continue with what you were saying.
So we were talking about just kind of like development of games these days and how like small groups of developers will talk to the communities in which they build as they're building the game for ideas or tweaks, or especially like a beta testing group that works heavily with you to kind of test the game as you change it. And so I've been playing a game for like 4 years now. It's technically not out yet, but I've been playing the beta for it for like, and so, it's called StarMade. It's like space Legos with Minecraft, and you build your own spaceships. And so it's gone through so many changes, and now it's kind of like, how to put it? It's kind of gotten old, but every time they release a new big update, it's new again. And so a whole bunch of people will flock back to it. But that's kind of where games have gotten to, where they're just kind of these things where instead of having like a release date, they're just constantly being changed as they go. And so you get these developers that are like, well, I'm just going to call it because it's not working. And I'm sorry, I'm taking your money and goodbye. Or you have these people who, that's one reason I really don't like pre-ordering anything anymore these days, because I have actually narrowly gotten away with the ones I did invest in early were the ones that turned out to be great games. However, there's been hundreds of them that have been very terrible. And I feel very bad for the people who decided to invest in those. And that's one reason, even with like EA coming out with, I haven't pre-ordered a game since, 6-7 years ago. And I actually did pre-order the new Star Wars one that EA is kicking out. That's a TIE Fighter X-Wing game. But other than that,
I saw that advertised.
Yeah. It's because I used to play TIE Fighter. That was my first game I bought ever. It was on DOS. So I'm like, no, I'm buying it anyway. So yeah, I was like 6. I worked 6 months to get the money up, dumping trash and mowing lawn. Well, helping mow the lawn to make the money up for that one. And but yeah, so as gaming goes, there's a couple more that are Steam-ish. There's one I really like the idea of. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It is 1920s World War I, but the tanks are almost more mecha. And so it's like walking tanks, and it looks really cool. And it has that steampunk vibe to it, but it's obviously imperialistic World War I warfare. And it's a strategy game.
Leaning more toward dieselpunk, maybe?
Yeah, really it is. And it has a good feeling to it. I like it. I'll probably talk about that one next time.
I think I read a novel in that sort of genre. But it's over on my bookshelf. I don't remember what. But we reviewed it like 2 seasons ago. I don't remember anymore. But it's a fun sort of genre to get your teeth into.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like one reason World War II is so popular in the writing and world building is that we have so much technology that was up and coming at that point that it wasn't perfected by no means. We had homing rockets that were controlled by pigeons, and so we trained pigeons to literally peck at a screen to get food out of a dispenser if it was a shape of a ship, and literally in a rocket with 3 pigeons in it. And if they saw an image of a ship, they'd peck at the ship, and it would change the direction that the rocket went, and it would dispense food. We never actually deployed any of these, but it was tested and accurate.
Like suicidal pigeons, you know.
Suicidal pigeons, unknowingly suicidal. But
Flavio, do you know any pigeons? They're stupid as hell.
I remember there was one time I was walking.
No worse off from through less pigeons.
I was in downtown San Antonio, just walking down the street, and I swear to God, a pigeon just fell out of the sky and dropped dead right in front of me. I'm assuming it's because it banged into the building next to me and it just fell.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. It's like a whole bunch of. It's easy to romanticize and take some of like the early technology that didn't work to its furthest point, and use it in a steampunk way. Like I was sitting around with my father-in-law, who is what's the right word for it? He plays at wanting to be a physics professor. Essentially, his favorite thing to do is build solar systems that would be accurate as much as he can. And we were sitting around going, so how would you have radar on an airship? And it's like, oh, that's easy. You run a cable around the outside of it, and you have electricity going through it, and it has like this whole like deal of like electromagnetic resonance. It's like it's not horribly accurate, but you can get it out for a couple of miles, and you would have a resonance, and you would have basically receptors on every point around the ship you would want to have like a light come on. So like we have a magnetic resonance. So you'd have a general idea where a ship was around you in the clouds or whatever in an airship. I'm just like, wait, that exists? He's like, yeah, we tried to use it for submarines. And
Nice.
yeah, he's like, you can't make it too powerful because you have the electromagnetic field of the planet to consider, but it does work. So I'm sitting here going, well, hot damn. Okay. So just those random questions that pop up.
I'm going to change the subject real quick. Nicole mentioned that she's looking to get a Polaroid to take pictures for the jail. I backed the Polaroid on Kickstarter. I'm going to show you a picture of it, and I don't know if I don't know when I'm going to receive it. I'm hoping to get it soon, but it looks like you can also buy them right off the bat. Let me get a share screen. Man, I'm getting bad at this.
Do I need to kill my stop? I'm going to stop screening. That might help. There.
Yeah, kill yours. Yeah. Let me try again. But it looks really cool. Share. All right, here it is. You see that?
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's a Polaroid. I'm intrigued.
That's going to be a Polaroid. By Jolly Look. They updated. They're preparing for mass production, so I should be getting it soon. Yeah, it looked really nice. It's pretty. It came in two different colors. There was brown, and I think the other one was black. But I took the brown one because it looked more steampunk.
You might be able to rent it from him for a marginal fee. So are they going to be like doing the film as well, or is that still made by Polaroid?
The film, it's somewhere in all this description. There's a Polaroid film that's on the market that it uses.
Okay.
So hopefully it should still be that Polaroid film will still be available, and it fits in the back and it works really. I don't know how well it works. Hopefully, I don't know when I'm going to receive it, but when I receive it, I'm going to have some fun with it, playing with it, if I can find the film to plug in there.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing that too, because that'd be a cool thing to show.
Yeah, I bought it. I specifically told myself I'm taking this to Steampunk November if I can get it in time for Steampunk November. Because I do like taking pictures. I have a nice camera, but I haven't used it in forever. So
taking pictures of Thax on his bike.
Oh yeah, you have the steampunk bike. You should bring that Steampunk November. People can pose with it.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Do you want that to happen? The reason they didn't bring the cars back is because apparently the cars got damaged.
No. Those cars. Well, people were jumping all over those cars. I'm not surprised, but I didn't see anything happen physically.
At least we got permission to jump off of it when we were doing it. I mean, we did, So
I vaguely remember someone jumping off a car. Yes.
I have pictures of that happening somewhere.
So there's proof. Uh-oh.
There's proof.
That's kind of sad that someone damaged the cars. That's people, behave yourselves, man. Be nice.
Don't
mind your gauges.
Because it's there. You mind your gauges. Know your onions. All the bacalao.
So I did a little Google search for Jolly Look cameras, and I'm a little disappointed to hear you haven't got yours yet, because they have them listed on Walmart's website.
Oh man, what? Okay, I'm gonna have to start talking to these people, figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
find the email.
I could buy one from eBay with free shipping.
What? Okay, so you also got to watch out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely have to figure out what's going on. Why I haven't sent mine?
Where's your toy, man?
Yeah,
it looks
where's my
really
toy?
Cool.
We need you to get your Polaroid camera so we can play
Yes,
with it.
I agree. Anyway, yeah. Now I'm concerned. Now you just gave me something to worry about tonight. I'm not going to sleep.
Oh, Max, what are you thinking?
I don't need to sleep. It's not like I have anywhere to go right now. But that's a whole other story. Anyway. Wow, we're drifting off the subject. Steampunk. We're here to talk about steampunk.
Video game.
There is I have a follow up on. There was a comic book I think it was the first episode where I talked about Red Rooster and Bass Reeves comic books. They're only available at Walmart. And in the back of each comic book it says next issue number 2, available July 7th. Well, so far I have not been able to find them. They're not even on the website yet. So either something got delayed. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know where's my second issue, people. So
well,
I'm upset
with everything going on. I could certainly see why things might be delayed in the comic book publishing world. I don't know, but it's very possible.
Yeah, well, the big two, Marvel and DC, they have slowly started rolling out their series again, and they even had a skip week a couple weeks back where there wasn't a single Marvel or DC comic that came out that week. But there was an Image and some independents out, but yeah, they haven't even got their full series, all their series out. They're not even rolling out yet. It's a slow rollout of going back to what they used to republish, of other titles.
Yeah.
Which is actually good for the wallet, actually, because there's fewer titles coming out.
You have a problem, Flavio.
But there's been, but I've been. Yes, I do.
Have an intervention. Go to his house and just get a burn barrel.
But I already no. Don't you dare! I already acknowledge I have a problem, but I don't care. I like it. So
hey, we all have hobbies. Some of us have hobbies that take up a lot more space than others. I get this.
But I'm actually really surprised at how many steampunk or steampunk closely related comics that are coming out recently. And I'll be bringing some up. I think I brought up one of them. It was I brought up a few already, but I've been posting them on our Facebook page. It's like I'm reading this, and there's whispering. There's a Dragon Whisperer. There's Adventure Man, which is more diesel punk, but still pretty cool. There's been several that are actually. I'm really surprised at how many closely related to steampunk comics that are coming out recently. There's the web series, not the web series, the podcast Lore. You ever heard of Lore? There's also an Amazon Prime show called Lore. Mm-hmm. That man wrote a comic called Wellington, and it's about the Duke of Wellington. He's a monster hunter back in the day, So
I do not know of this.
So that's a pretty good one. Yeah, it's a pretty good one as well. I'll post a link to that. I think only three issues have been out recently. So it's not even completed yet. That's out. There's actually a lot of comics out nowadays. That's my specialty is comic books, by the way.
So comic books. I guess
Jackson.
Turns out Wellington is the capital of New Zealand.
Really?
That's not what I was looking for.
I did not know that.
Nope, that's not his. The Duke of Wellington is in England somewhere.
The Duke of Wellington. Duke Wellington. That's something that's hitting that's another thing. That's not steampunk, but I think it goes to another TV show somewhere. Duke Wellington, another character. Anyway, moving on.
I've also found a lot of shows on Netflix. Like I haven't watched it yet, so I have no idea how good. It's probably not very good at all. But it's called Tesla and the End of the World or something like that. Like Nicholas Tesla and the End of the World. It's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my to watch list. Maybe I'll bring that up next time.
You got to tell us how that is. That sounds fantastic.
It's not on
Give it a shot.
You can find it on Amazon. I think
Amazon. I'm sorry, my bad. It's on Amazon.
It's like a real short, like 6-minute episode thing. And there's like,
well, that shouldn't be too difficult to watch then.
But it's like 5 episodes, so 6 times 5, 30 minutes for the whole thing.
Easy enough. But still, Tesla. I like Nikola Tesla. He's closely related to steampunk. So.
Yeah. But understand, it is a
I'm not saying
very low budget, fun film.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm saying, like I said, but like I say, sure. I'll watch it so everyone else doesn't have to. I'll tell them it's bad, it's good. If it's bad, don't watch it. If it's good, give it a try. Like the 2 animes we recommended today. Yeah. Like the animes that we talked. I highly recommend Livius, and it sounds like you really like the Drifting Dragons. I know we have anime fans, and if you're listening to us, you're probably a steampunk fan. So give them a chance.
Already, yeah. If you're steampunk, you haven't watched Steam Boy.
Definitely, Steampunk.
May the gods forgive you, and you should watch it immediately. And
right. And we had a Steam Boy viewing in Killeen, right? Was it Killeen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the Central Steampunk group. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
I'll admit what got me into looking at not just steampunk, because I was already kind of steampunk at the time, but it was I watched The Last Exile, which was I think one of the best animes I've ever seen. I love that one. And that one feels kind of like that World War I technology, kind of almost World War II, but we never left. Instead of going petrol, we just took steam to its ridiculous heights. But that one is really got me on the whole flying battleships and such.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to look at where's that one available?
Like it. I don't know. I watched it on what was it?
I'm looking it up right now.
It was on when I watched it. It was on some I think the Sci-Fi Channel one day, and I just threw in a VHS tape and recorded it. So it tells you how old it was.
Nice.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't have a VHS. I don't have a player for that.
I don't either. They stopped manufacturing them. They're limited now, so you can't get all your family videos off the VHS and get them digital.
Well, I found it on Funimation website. I don't know.
That'd probably be good enough.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll definitely figure it out. But
Funimation is a pretty well-known website. It's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, we're pretty close to our hour right now, so we should probably start wrapping things up.
No,
right?
Yeah, it went by fast, didn't it?
Hour and 20 minutes, so that's right.
Yeah, we kept talking. That's no problem. But we like to try to keep it within an hour or so, just to keep things nice. Yeah, but I have plenty of time on my hands, so beware. Keep an eye on the Facebook page. Every time I find something steampunk, I'm just gonna post it. I'm gonna keep posting it. It's like, hey, this is steampunk. This is steampunk. This is steampunk. So just keep an eye on that.
It's something I wanted to bring up because you're posting stuff on Facebook regularly. I just think it should be mentioned that sometimes you'll post things for sale, like a cool T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm. Those aren't ours.
Sometimes.
We're not selling our stuff.
No, they're not ours. I just thought it was something cool. Yeah.
The only thing we're selling that's that's like mine would be this right here. So and I'm not trying to hide that fact.
For sure.
Yeah, if I find something cool, I'll post it. Yes, I'm sorry. We don't get anything from it. I'm just saying, hey, look, this is cool.
I watch other people's shows, and they're often promoting their own merch. Because of course they are,
we don't.
But we don't have any. So
no, the closest thing we'll have would be Steam Chests from Jack here. He has Steam Chests, and
honestly, do a T-shirt for this. We could do that. We could make a T-shirt. Just
a logo. Yeah, we have a logo. We definitely have a Texas Steampunk Connection logo.
If you out there want a Texas Steampunk Connection T-shirt, we will look into making it. But you got to post in the comments telling us you want it.
Definitely, I want one. I don't even have one.
Do the internet thing here.
I'll put a post saying I want a t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so once again, we'll wrap it up.
Thanks,
yeah, that was good. Thanks for pointing that out, Thax. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any merchandise. It's just I thought it was cool. I'll post it. Say, hey, this is cool. You might like this. You know.
Right.
Go ahead.
I feel like I should put it out there because I see everybody else selling their own merch. Like, we're just putting things out because they're cool.
We're just dudes who find cool stuff and decide to share it. That's exactly.
So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I think
it's really good to see all these comments. Rita, Nicole, Linevere, you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
We lost one of them.
And for those of you who are watching later, please make comments on YouTube or Facebook. We will respond. We love having conversations, obviously.
We also have we have an email address. If you want to email us something longer, it's just TexasSteampunkConnection@gmail.com. So, you know, if you have a longer conversation you want to have with us, you can email us there too.
Or if you want to be on the show, we could consider that too.
Yes, yeah, definitely. If you have something you want to talk to us about, steampunk.
Yes.
You know, not necessarily. Don't try to. You know, we don't want. You know,
none of that.
Hopefully,
Hopefully
you're not selling something.
No.
But yeah, I mean, we'll be open to guests soon. As soon as when I feel comfortable with it, because I'm kind of in charge, but not really.
Yeah, this whole live streaming is very new to us. So thank you for bearing with us.
Yes, very much so.
Yep.
I think that about wraps it up. Once again, I'm Flavio. That's Thax. That's Jack. And until next time, mind your gauges.
Mind your gauges.
All right. See you later, guys. I'm ending the broadcast now.